What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Hot Take. This is where we dive deep into one real estate topic. Today's topic is virtual assistants. I'm your host, Jesse Burrell with BatchTV, and let's get into it. So today I have a very special guest, Cody Barton. What is going on, my man?
What's going on, man? Excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. You are one impressive young man, and we're going to talk about how you have scaled the heck out of your companies using virtual assistants.
100% excited to do it, and that's one of the coolest things now about being in the 21st century is being able to outsource and be able to put yourself in a position where you don't have to have everyone helping you in your business here locally.
Yeah. So before we get started, let's give a quick bio of who you are, how many deals you're doing, how long you've been in real estate, real quick.
Awesome. Yeah, my name's Cody Barton. I'm 26 years old. I've been in the real estate industry for about 5 years now. Long story short, we flip, close to a dozen properties at a time. We wholesale, anywhere from 10 to 12 properties on a monthly basis, buying and holding, a couple of new properties every single month. We have a title company here in Arizona. We have multiple different businesses, but one of the things that has allowed us to be able to do what we've done is by hiring the right virtual assistants to help us scale and automate a lot of these businesses.
So you're telling me you do a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. A few things.
Yes. So this is a hot take. So I want to dive deep, give some value on virtual assistants. So let's get into it. So Cody, let's talk specifically real estate and wholesaling. What is a virtual assistant for someone that's new, and what places in their company can they help you?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that people don't realize is they hear virtual assistant and they think, okay, this person could maybe do some basic data tasks for me, and they're probably not going to be highly skilled enough to be able to do anything else. But it's really a limiting belief. What we found in our business was that we've been able to hire virtual assistants that not only do cold calling for us, they do lead management for us. We have some virtual assistants that do acquisition for us. But we also have one that manages our systems and helps manage stuff with our bookkeeper. So really, they could do anything that involves it being online. They could do anything besides basically pick up your groceries for you in person. So
exactly. So let's do a little story time real quick, because let's wind back last summer. Me, you, Pace, and Jamil were in a pool.
I'm just enjoying the water.
And you gave me that epiphany. You're like, these guys are incredible. These VAs are working hard. If you train people and pour into people, just stop. You know what I mean? You have to understand that just because they're not American, don't be prejudiced. These people are just as smart as we are in.
I have better work ethic in my experience too.
That's what I was going to say. The dedication, the work ethic.
Yeah.
You pour into someone, I don't care who they are, you are going to see results, and you could do that with VAs all day long.
100%. And I think the thing is too, like our virtual assistants that we have all within our company, they're all in the Philippines. And, one of the other limiting beliefs that some people say is, oh, well, you're paying them no money, because typically you could be anywhere from maybe $5 up to $9, $10 an hour for these virtual assistants. And, people say, oh, well, that's, you're taking advantage of these people. But here's the thing is the average wage out there, the average person, in the Philippines is making, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a year. So if you're able to, hire them at a rate where they're able to work from home, be able to spend more time with their family and give them something, that they're excited about to work on with you and your company, you're providing a great opportunity. And that's where it's worked out really well for us. And like you said, you have to pour into the people. They're not robots, that you're hiring that just come in and they're just going to figure it out. Like you got to instill the culture that you want to bring into your business, and you got to show them the ropes of how you specifically like things to be done.
To that point, we've actually had people grow inside of our company. Like when we first started, you can't treat a VA like they know what they're doing. If they've done cold calling before, someone bad could have trained them.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't make assumptions.
Yeah.
So the more you pour into it, we treat them just like we treat all of our in-office employees. They are treated no differently. But let's get back to someone that's new. If you were a new wholesaler all over again, what's the first position you'd hire a VA for, and why?
Oh, 100% something involved with lead generation. So whether that's they're doing cold calling for you, whether that's they're doing text marketing for you, whether that's you're doing ringless voicemail and you're having them take those inbound calls coming in, or whether they're answering calls from direct mail, it all has to do with lead generation. Because what happens is a lot of new wholesalers, I call it the wholesale hamster wheel. They get started in their business, they start getting lead generation going on, and then they get too busy following up with those leads. They
Correct.
stop generating leads, they get a deal, they get it closed. Now their pipeline's dried up, and they need to go start the process all over again.
Absolutely. So for the texting and cold calling, what platforms do you use?
Yeah, for us, I mean, we use the batch suites of platforms, batch dialer, batch leads, it just makes sense for us and our company where we've grown we have everything under the same umbrella, so we don't have to switch from platform to platform.
Right. So I do appreciate you using our products. We do a lot of symbiotic relationships. And then you do have a VA company. So there's two different ways. You could go on Upwork or Fiverr, hire and train yourself, or you could pay, you have VA Hub, and you could pay someone like you guys that is already dialed in on batch leads or batch dialer or batch driven or whatever product that you want to lead generate with, and you're just plug and playing them, and now that new wholesaler is getting instant leads. If you have the budget to do it, it's absolutely the way to go.
100%. I mean, because there's really the three different ways that people source virtual assistants. This is what we found is the three ways is you typically you're going to go to a company like an Upwork, a Fiverr, one of those to source one yourself. You have to do that interview. You have to hire them, manage their time tracking, train them, everything, start to finish. So that's the first way. The second way, there are services out there. This is something that we're going to start offering soon as well at vahub.com, where if you want to be the one that manages them and trains them and everything, we can source them and just source them directly to you, and we won't manage them any further. But then like the top tier of service is, what our bread and butter is, which is we help screen, hire, train, go through that whole process with the virtual assistant so that we're able to deliver that to a client and they're not having to start from scratch. Obviously, if you buy fix and flips and you buy creative finance, we got to do some of the training on that for that virtual assistant for your specific business. But generally they're trained on everything.
So let's dive into the expectations of a VA. A lot of people think let's say you hire one yourself, or let's say we hire one from vahub.com. Yeah. Everyone thinks that it's just rainbows and butterflies, and I'm going to get deals because I'm spending X amount of dollars. Yeah. It takes time to build your pipeline with your leads, and it takes time to make sure that your VA is specific to what you're doing. So let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And so I would say one of the biggest things when it comes to your budget is I always recommend having at least 90 to 120 days of money set aside towards whatever marketing venture you're going to go down. Because the thing is, in this business, as you do marketing today, it doesn't mean you're getting a deal tomorrow. It doesn't mean you're getting a deal next week. It may mean you're getting leads today, leads tomorrow, next week, but you have to follow up with those and nurture those until they're ready to convert and then close. And that process could take, 60, 90 days, right? So that's one of the main things is understanding that for budget. And then the other thing with virtual assistants is they are also human. And what do all humans have in common? They all get sick sometimes. They have family issues that come up. Right. Sometimes it's not a good fit. There are cases where, you hire a virtual assistant. They're just not a good culture fit for you. Or you just find that you don't mesh well with them in your business. So, when that does happen, one of the things we do at VA Hub is, we replace them, for free with another virtual assistant and get them onboarded to help you. But that's something that we have to do in our business even today is we hire new ones. Sometimes it's not a good culture fit, and we find that out, a month down the road. So those are just some of the things that we see is that people should know.
Well, it's just like when you're building your sales staff, your acquisition team. Every person you hire isn't going to be fit or isn't going to last. Yeah. This is just like anything else. But I want to touch back onto when you're talking about expectations with closing deals. Is when someone's just getting started or starting a new marketing channel, I say if you don't get a deal within 90 days, you're doing something wrong. Yeah, for sure. But don't expect a deal within 30. It could happen, but you need 90 days. You have to build the pipeline. And also, it may, unfortunately, guys, I'm going to look you in the camera. It may not be the leads. You may not be very good at closing deals, and that may be something you have to work on because it's not always, you can't blame leads. Sometimes you have to look at yourself. What am I not doing right? What's my follow-up process? Getting the leads isn't that hard. It's everything after that. That's where the superstars shine. that's where you really become successful. You obviously need the leads, but lead generation, there's so many companies out there to help you do that now with products and with services like yours. All that's there, but pouring into your sales skills, your team, and all those things, that's what gets you from making a deal or two a month to really scaling your business.
100%. And so, when looking at that, I think you made a great point on that is I don't want to discourage people from thinking, oh, it's going to take me 90 days to get a deal. It's like, no, we want to have proper, expectations so that, yeah, you could get a lead the first week that turns into a deal that you close in 7 days. Like, yes, does that happen? Yes, definitely. But it's having that proper expectation so that you don't get discouraged if it takes that, 30, 60, 90 days to see that first, check come in.
I would say 60 to 90 days from
yeah.
For closing a deal, maybe contracting.
Yes.
Your contract should be 30 to 60 days.
Yes.
Your close should be 60 to 90.
100%.
If you're doing everything properly that I just talked about too,
Yes.
because you get all the leads. If you're not following up immediately, someone else is talking to that dude. If your VAs are reaching out and they're saying, I'm interested, there's other people reaching out too.
Yep.
If you're not on top of it, someone else is going to get a deal. So how many deals did you lose by not properly, trying to acquire properties?
Yeah, 100%. And that's where, what we did in our business was we had our best cold caller virtual assistants. We trained them over like a 6-month period of time to then move up to a lead manager role, because we saw that same thing happening as our sales guys. Salespeople are salespeople. They're a little bit more unorganized just by nature. So
Facts.
what we found is if we just have, the lead managers help them follow up, and basically put on a platter the warmest, hottest leads, they could just focus on those instead of, dialing through some of the little bit colder stuff.
Well, to that point, that's two different job positions. A closer is meant to close.
Yep.
They're not meant to follow up with leads. That's something that has always been hard in wholesaling and real estate, is you want someone to be good at everything.
Yeah.
But you get a closer that's just a killer. That's all they should be doing.
Yep.
That's it. Someone else should be just handing them hot leads on a platter, and they go kill them.
Yep. I mean, it's like you wouldn't expect LeBron James to be out there setting up the chairs for everyone to sit at the stadium. It's like he's going to do what he does best. Like there's other people that could do those other tasks. So.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, that is definitely a hot take. Before we go, how could someone get a hold of Cody Barton?
You could find me on Instagram, Cody Barton Official, or follow me on YouTube. Just search Cody Barton on there. You'll be able to find me there as well. And, as far as virtual assistants go, you can go to vahub.com.
So one last golden nugget before we sign off.
I would say the biggest thing is not even virtual assistant related, but just in general, none of it works unless you work consistently. The best way that you're going to have the most success in the business is going to be whether you're getting virtual assistants or not. Just getting consistent action, consistent lead generation is going to lead to consistent leads, which is then going to lead to, if you're consistent following up with those leads, to consistent contracts. So that's the biggest thing, is consistency beats all.
And that's consistent money.
Yep.
Let's
Consistent
go.
money is the best money.
Let's go. Thank you so much for coming on, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of The Hot Take. Make sure to follow Cody. Make sure to smash that like button. Until next time, let's get it.